Jeffrey Lionel Dahmer, the Milwaukee Cannibal. Early life and childhood fascination. Jeffrey Lionel Dahmer was born on May 21, 1960, in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, to Lionel and Joyce Dahmer. As a child, he was described as energetic until around age 4, a period marked by recovery from surgery and increasing withdrawal. He grew particularly fascinated with dissecting animal cadavers and collecting preserved specimens like skulls and insects, often storing them in jars of formaldehyde. This morbid curiosity would foreshadow the darkness to come. First murder. On June 18, 1978, just weeks after graduating high school, Dahmer picked up 18-year-old hitchhiker Stephen Hicks in Bath Township, Ohio. Luring him to his parents' home, Dahmer bludgeoned Hicks with a barbell and then strangled him. He dismembered the body with a Bowie knife, crushed the bones with a sledgehammer, and scattered the remains on his father's property. Forensic anthropologist Douglas Owsley later confirmed this method based on bone fragment analysis and dental records. Dahmer admitted he had sex with Hicks's corpse, a fantasy he had harbored since age 16. After this murder, Dahmer experienced 9 years without killing again. He briefly attended Ohio State University, joined the U.S. Army, was discharged due to alcohol problems, and was arrested multiple times for indecent exposure and disorderly conduct. Resumption of murders, 1987 to 1991. The turning point. Dahmer's killing spree resumed after 9 years with the murder of 24-year-old Stephen Twomey. In September 1987, he met Twomey at a Milwaukee bar, drugged him in a hotel, and awoke to find him dead. He transported and dismembered Twomey's body in his grandmother's basement, disposing of all remains except for the skull, which he boiled and destroyed later. Escalation and modus operandi. Between 1988 and 1991, Dahmer murdered 17 men and boys. He selected most victims, predominantly Black, Asian, or Latino young men, found near malls, bus stops, gay bars, or working as sex workers. He typically lured victims with promises of money, photographs, or sexual activity, drugged them often using sedatives like temazepam or triazolam, strangled them once unconscious, occasionally bludgeoned victims. As in the case of Ernest Miller, who bled to death after having his carotid artery cut, Dahmer took photographs at various stages during the kill, dismemberment, and preservation to relive the acts later. The drilling technique and cannibalism. By 1991, Dahmer was experimenting with more horrifying methods. After luring for victims first Errol Lindsay in April, then Tony Hughes in May, he drilled holes in their skulls and injected hydrochloric acid or boiling water into their brains. His intent was to render them permanently submissive, zombie-like victims. None survived his intention. He eventually strangled them. He also practiced necrophilia and cannibalism, believing that consuming flesh meant the victims would always remain part of him. He amassed body parts in his apartment, including skulls and genitals, and kept them as grisly mementos. Final victim. Tony Hughes, May 24, 1991, drilled and injected acid into the brain. Full skeleton preserve. Joseph Braidhoft, July 19, 1991, last victim. His body remained for 2 days. Dahmer then decapitated him, stuffed the head in a fridge, and left the torso in a drum. In total, 12 victims were killed in Dahmer's North 25th Street apartment, Milwaukee home. 3 at his grandmother's West Alice residence, and 2 at other locations, his parents' home and a hotel. Capture and arrest. On July 22, 1991, his final victim, Tracy Edwards, escaped after Dahmer handcuffed him and threatened to eat his heart. Edwards flagged down police, guiding them back to Dahmer's apartment. Officers then discovered Polaroids depicting dismemberment, severed heads in the fridge, and multiple other body parts. Dahmer was arrested on the spot. Trial and sentencing. Dahmer was charged with 15 first-degree murders in July-August 1991, and an Ohio charge in September for the murder of Twomey. He pleaded guilty but insane in January 1992. The jury found him legally sane and guilty, sentencing him to 16 life terms, a total of 941 to 957 years without parole, imprisonment and death. During incarceration at Columbia Correctional Institution, Dahmer expressed remorse, became a born-again Christian, and read the Bible. On November 28, 1994, fellow inmate Christopher Scarver bludgeoned Dahmer and another inmate, Jesse Anderson, with a metal bar during a work detail. Dahmer died from severe head trauma. Scarver claimed he was disgusted by Dahmer's crimes, particularly those against black victims. Why this case shocked the world. Horror and fascination. Dahmer's crimes included necrophilia, cannibalism, drilling into brains, far surpassing typical serial murder horrors. Failures of the system. Multiple chances to stop him were missed, from early legal infractions to serious lapses like failing to follow up on Tracy Edwards' cries, highlighting systemic negligence. Media and pop culture. These crimes triggered intense true crime interest. From books like Monster, the true story of the Jeffrey Dahmer murders, to Netflix's Monster series, his case became a lens on morbid human fascination. Final word. Jeffrey Dahmer's story is one of escalating depravity, calculated brutality, and the chilling depths of human pathology. His progression from animal fixation to horrific experimentation and murder reveals a pathological need for control, possession, and immortality through others. His capture exposed chilling details: Polaroids, skull collections, brain-drilling tools that make his crimes uniquely grotesque in the annals of serial murder.